Hi all, hope you're having a good day so far, or maybe your day is just beginning, who knows? Um, I'm going to have a look at sort of the common Ponzi promoter sayings or uh, things which a lot of scammers often say and sort of discuss the psychology kind of thing behind these things. So let's just have a look. So I'll just get this out of the way. So, common thing which people say, Ponzi promoters say, is everybody knows what they're getting into. All right. So they say that we're all in this together kind of thing. You knew what you were getting into. So if you've lost your money, then so be it, because you knew what you were getting into. Now, I'd argue that not everybody knows what they're getting into. You take sites like, if we go back, okay, in time to say things like stable fund. Stable fund, people thought they were buying into trading bots, which are going to earn 1.5% a day. And they believed that. Now, I, of course, made videos and said, this is a Ponzi scheme. There's no way in the world that they can be offering 1.5% every single day on a consistent basis. And I had people complaining to me and saying, I didn't know what I was talking about. You're an idiot. Sometimes they make more than that a day, and sometimes they make less than that day. They're just going to pay out 1.5%. Sometimes they make 8% in a day and things like that. So, of course, yes, we trade in crypto and we can see things go up 30% in a day. All right. But they're kind of one offs because another day they'll go down 50% as well. So, what we're saying here is that you can't make 1.5% on a consistent basis or enough more than 1.5% to pay out 1.5% on a consistent basis. We've already seen that with PGV recently, where he's having to refund, although he doesn't refund anybody. Okay, he keeps saying he's going to refund people, but never does. All right, so we've got all of that nonsense. So whenever you see anything that says we're trading bots, we're using AI, we've got industrial trading bots, all of those kind of things, and they're offering ridiculous percentages, and ridiculous could be as low as 0.6%, I would say, 0.5%. If they're offering that on a consistent basis, it's a Ponzi scheme. Now, Ponzi schemes have kind of competed with each other and offered like 1.5% or 2% or 3%. And they get a lot of people in. They'll look at one thing and say, oh, that guy's only offering, oh, that website's only offering 1.5%. I'll go to this other guy here who's offering me 2%. It's completely ridiculous. All right. So clearly, a lot of people don't know what they're getting into. All right. Um, they think that they just believe in what the website says, trading bots or whatever mad scheme they can come up with. And they'll just repeat back whatever the website is saying, say, oh, they're doing this. People are so gullible that they'll believe anything, or some of them just want to believe in it. So, yes, there are people who are just playing the Ponzi game, right? Where they know it's a Ponzi, okay, and they get into it early with the idea of getting out and doubling the money or whatever, or getting the money back and then riding the waves, okay, for a year or whatever, and trying to earn as much as possible. And if they do that, what are you doing? You're effectively stealing off the last people in, okay? So everybody knows what they're getting into, sort of thing that Ponzi promoters say all the time. It's a casino play or it's like a game of poker. All right. This is the sort of thing that someone like Jonathan Seller will say on his Fud Farm, but a lot of other Ponzi promoters also this kind of thing. It's a game. So when they use the word it's a game or it's a play, then what they're really saying is, without actually saying it, is I know this is a Ponzi scheme. All right. They're saying they know it's a Ponzi scheme. It's like a hidden code. This is a Ponzi scheme. It's not real. Nothing's going on in the background. It's just people are putting the money in and hoping they can take more money out. And that's all they're basically saying. So they're comparing it to a game of poker where you put your money in a game of poker. Okay, so you get your buy-in of $100, $10, whatever it is. And if there's 10 people, let's say you put $10 in each, then in a game of poker, there's quite often there'll be a top three or something like that. So second will get $20. So second will get $30, third will get $20, and the winner will get $50, something like that. And then 7 people are going to lose their money. So people compare it to that, but it's not the same as that, right? They're not the same thing. Okay, so in a Ponzi scheme, you put your money in, and 95% of the people lose the money. In a game of poker, you're putting your money in, you're getting some enjoyment back, hopefully. All right, you're enjoying your game with your mates, okay? And you may well be taking money off your mates, okay? That doesn't really matter, okay? It's kind of irrelevant. You're putting your money in, you're playing with your mates, you're having a good time, you may be having a drink at the same time. How is that comparable to putting your money into one of these mad cat schemes where you put your money in and you get your money out in 24 hours or something like that? Or even some of these schemes are ridiculous where you put your money in and you get like 0.5% back in 1 hour or something like that. They're not comparable. It's not the same thing. Ponzi scheme where you're putting your money in, getting your money, want some money back out in 24 hours, or you might not get any money back at all. All right. There's no fun in that. All right. Game of poker, you might play, you might lose your $10 buy-in, but you've had a game. All right. You paid for a game. You are getting something back in return. It's not the same. Now, it's a casino play. So let's say you have, if you compare it to, say, roulette, they are not the same things. You put your money on red. On a casino, there's 33 numbers in UK. In America, I think there's 30. No, I've not got that right, have I? There's 36. I'm thinking of 32 red, you see. So there's 37 numbers on a UK roulette wheel, and I think there's 38 in a US one because there's a 00 because there's scammers in America. All right. So you've got a 00 in America and a single zero, and then you've got 18 reds and 18 blacks. So if you put your money on red, then 18 times out of 38, you're going to win and double your money back. The other 20 times, you're going to lose. So clearly, in a casino play like that, you can see the odds, all right? You know the odds. Also, in casinos, they have fruit machines, things like that. Now, if you go onto the back of fruit machines, I don't know if it's like in America, but I'm sure they have the regulation, okay? Casinos have licenses and the machines are tested, all right? So they should be legitimate, and they should usually have like a sticker on the back that have been tested, and the machine will pay out something like 85%, something like that. So if $100 goes in, 85 will get paid out on average, and 14 the casino will keep, something like that. So all of these games in a casino are regulated, and they all have different amounts of payback. So blackjack, for instance, will have a certain amount. I can't remember what the odds are, but depending on how you play, you'll get, if you play better, you'll improve your odds. You get it close to being even pretty much on a blackjack. So all the different casino games have differing odds, and also they have skill elements. So blackjack, if you know your mathematics, and you'll know what to split on and what to double down on and things like that. So playing a game of whatever, roulette, craps, anything like that in a casino, it's not the same as these mad Ponzi schemes. They're not the same thing. So when these YouTubers say, oh, it's just like a casino game, things like that, it's not. Also, another thing about casino, if you put your money and lose your money in casino, casinos get taxed. All right. And that money then will go to whatever, hospitals and schools and stuff like that. And the back of politicians' back pockets as well, unfortunately. But they are regulated. Now, these DeFi projects that just pop up as a website aren't. They're just going into some, who knows where they're going to. A lot of these Ponzi schemes will be linked to organized crime. Okay. Now you could argue that, that governments are organized crime. Okay. So, yeah, we get that picture. Okay. We're all kind of more anti-government these days because of the internet and all of that. But it's not quite the same thing. So when these YouTubers use these saying it's a casino play, it's a game of poker, it is not that at all. DYOR. Okay, so it's not just scammers who use this. Every single site. I probably put this on my site. Do your own research. Okay, I'm not your financial advisor. Things like that. So I'm not entirely sure of the law on this, but if you're not a financial advisor, you've kind of got to say, you've got to do your own research. Don't take what I'm saying for granted. All right. So this is another way, this is another cop out, I would say. All right. This is a great kind of legal, legitimate sort of saying. You know, you're supposed to do your own research, guys. Don't just listen to what I'm saying as the gospel. You're meant to listen to a bit what I'm saying, maybe take a little bit on board, but fundamentally, and at the end of the day, it's up to you to have done your own proper research. Now, what I'd say about this do your own research is a lot of people have jobs and things like that, and they just think, well, this guy's a YouTuber, he's got 50,000 followers. Surely he kind of knows what he's talking about. He's got these 50,000 people following him or her. So therefore, I can trust this guy. So that's kind of the problem I have with the DY do your own research thing. Is that you're going to have a lot of people who maybe have been working 10 hours a day. They come home, they're in the 9 to 5 job and think, right, I want to somehow get out of this. Well, this guy's got 50,000 subscribers on his channel. I can see he's putting his money into this. I'm going to follow him. All right. And effectively, that is their research. All right. So a lot of people just don't have time. Okay. They don't have time to fully understand these things. They're just expecting, you know what? This guy's done this. Hopefully he's done his homework. I'm going to follow him into it. And obviously the problem with that is a lot of these Ponzi promoters, they've been paid. All right. So they've been given like $2,000 to play with. All right. So maybe they've been given 2,000, say, right, put this $2,000 into this platform. If you get your money back, then great, kind of thing. You've done it. All right. But if you lose your money as well, so this is what they'll say, these YouTubers, they'll put the money into it. This is my money that I'm putting into it. But I've been paid by the by the promoters, by the people who've created this program. Okay. But they won't necessarily tell you how much they've been paid. And some of them might put their own money into it as well. Okay. But the thing is, they've got they've also going to get affiliates. Okay, so that once they've done the video and stuff like that, and they put a link in the description, lots of them make tons and tons of money from the followers, affiliate schemes, following them into the program. And when the Ponzi promoter puts the money in, and people can see them putting the money in, then they just think, all right, that's their backing. You know, they're saying that they're doing this. They're showing people that they're actually doing this. It's promotion, and that is why, in my eyes, and people like Brandon from Ponzi Patrol, as soon as we see you doing this, we're saying you're just as bad as the people who created these programs. All right, because you're just promoting them. You're making money for them and you're making money for yourself. You're just as bad as the people who promote these things. You're just a scammer. Okay. You're taking money out of people's hard-earned pay. All right. They could be working 10 hours a day, wanting to getting out of the rat race. To see you doing this, putting money into a platform and copy you. All right. But these Ponzi promoters are just using this DYOR to say, You know, it's your own fault. You got into it. You didn't do the right research. Okay. You've lost money because you haven't researched the program properly. Don't blame me. It's just a cop out from Ponzi promoters. All right. We are all adults here, right? No crybabies. This is the sort of thing that someone like Ed Zimbardi uses. I've seen him use this in when he gets like a group of people in his YouTube sort of chat rooms, in his Zoom things, when he's got like 100 people, or even does it. I've seen him do it on his marketing things where he's got a room full of people. What you're doing here is you're sort of saying to everybody, "Oh, you're all men, all right. You're all grown up. Um, no crybabies here, okay." So you kind of getting them to feel all tough, all right. Um, this is for men, I'd say. Yeah, I'm using the word adults and stuff like that, but it's kind of sort of making it because most of the people that are getting into these things tend to be men. All right, so he's appealing to the sort of men in the room or the Zoom chat, whatever. He's sort of saying to them, be a man, all right. And he often uses phrases where sometimes you've got to commit to things. You've got to like jump off a cliff or something like that kind of thing. I can't remember the exact phrase he uses, but he sort of says, you've got to commit to this. Be a man, commit to it. Put $2,000 into it. All right. Or buy one package first. Okay. See how it goes and then buy more packages later. All right. So that's what he kind of does, this Edson Bardi. That's the sort of thing. This is the sort of psych, uh, uh, psychology he uses here. He kind of gets everybody to, um, well, obviously everyone is an adult, okay, but he's saying the other thing about this is about the no crybabies things is when it all goes wrong, when it all goes south, he's basically saying to everybody, now, suck it up. You got to suck it up. You can't go to the police. Okay, you can't come back to me and complain about it. Remember, I said right at the very start, no crybabies. So if you start complaining, you're suddenly a crybaby. All right, that's how it is. So he's trying to get people not to complain. It's like be a man, take your losses like a man. Okay, take it on the chin. Yeah, that's how it kind of comes across. And just documenting my journey. Wow, we've heard this one a lot, and this is another one from Jonathan Seller's playbook. Okay, but I've also heard Terence Pounds from Money Mystery and whatever it is. I can't remember what it's called now. Mystery Ministry, somewhere or other. You know which guy I'm on about. The number one Ponzi promoter in my top 10, Terence Pounds. This is the guy who apparently he's just documenting his journey, but then he's got about 34 projects on the go, which he documents, which he shows them all, and then gives links to all his Facebook channels and his websites and stuff like that, where you can go and click on his link through his website and things like that. So he's not just documenting his journey, and neither is Jonathan Seller, because what they tend to do is they say, "Oh, this is what you got to do. You click here." Well, what they actually do is they sometimes go through the whole process of how you put your money in. So do we really need to see that? Okay. If he's just documenting his journey, he's just showing what he's doing. Do we really need to know the blow by blow analysis of how you put your money into all of that? Because surely if he's showing you that, he's expecting you to put your hard-earned money into the same project. And if he's putting his affiliate links and stuff below in the description, he's surely thinking, and also he's surely getting people, and he also admits to getting lots of people signing up. So that is not really documenting your journey. It's promotion. All right. It's not documenting your journey. Documenting your journey is like, I don't know, going on a walk to Great Chinese Wall or something like that. You know, you're walking across a Chinese wall and showing everybody what it looks like to do that. And you may be getting some advertising revenue from AdSense and things like that. But in on the whole, you're you're not really getting a lot of people who are going to follow you onto the, you know, the walk onto the Chinese wall kind of thing. All right, so it's not the same thing at all. All right, so I'm just documenting my journey, comes up all the time, and they're not. What they're doing is their promotion. All right, they're using it as a promotion tool, and they're hoping that you click on their link below, because if they're just documenting the journey, they could just leave out that link or not make it an affiliate link. Say, this is the website I went to, all right, but I'm not going to make it an affiliate link because I'm not sure about this. You know, if they're really legit, they know it's a Ponzi scheme. They shouldn't be promoting it. In most jurisdictions across the world, pushing Ponzi schemes is breaking the law. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just showing what I'm doing. So again, this is same as documenting my journey. All right. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. It's a similar kind of thing, but they're just you dressing it up in a different way. Get your ROI out. Okay. So this is kind of, I kind of hate the expression ROI because I feel like they're misusing it, because I think they should be using break-even points or bet more than ROI. But anyway, that's by the by. So what they kind of mean by this is you put like $1,000 into something, and then you get your $1,000 back out, or you leave that 1,000 in, you take 1,000 out, and then you've got that 1,000 riding. Okay, so that's what they kind of mean by that. But what I'd say about those kind of things is, if something's like a really good project, so let's say something is a genuine project. So let's compare these Ponzi schemes for 1 second. Let's compare them with, say, buying Tesla stock or buying Google shares or Microsoft shares or things like that. So I'd say stuff like Google shares and Tesla stock and Microsoft stock and Amazon stock, okay, they're more solid investments, all right, I would say. All right, so anything can go up and down, all right? So do your own research, all right? I'm not your financial advisor, but I'm just kind of comparing them for a minute with stuff like more solid blue chip. Oh, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, really. So blue chip kind of stocks, all right? So we know what blue chips are. They're sort of big companies which tend not to fail, all right? Although in recessions, we're going to see more blue chip stocks fail. But stuff like Google, it's going to stick around for a while. Okay, so if you put your money in Google, if you invest your hard-earned money into stuff like Google, you're pretty sure that it's not going to go down the toilet. All right. So if you wanted to put your money into something and you thought it was a good investment, surely you'd put more into it. So if you make some money out of something, then there's kind of nothing wrong in sort of reinvesting that money. Now, the trouble is, a lot of these Ponzi schemes, a lot of people do that. All right. So they don't just take the money out. Okay. And the Ponzi promoters, they know this. They say this thing, get your ROI out. But in reality, they actually want you to keep your money into these schemes. All right. And they know that greed is a big factor. They only say these things just to sort of legitimize the project. All right. But in a way, it doesn't legitimize it, because if a project's really good, surely, and I've done another video on this about the crypto program, where I sort of said, you know, if you really like a project, surely you should be putting all your money into it. All right. Because you're saying it's like a solid investment. You know, you're comparing it kind of thing to blue chip stocks like Google and Microsoft and things like that. So this thing about getting your ROI doesn't really make sense, in my opinion. If they really truly believe in what they're promoting, you should be getting your money into it and getting more money into it. So again, it's just a kind of way of them trying to cover their backs in case you lose all your money by saying, well, I did tell you to get your money out. I did tell you to get your ROI out. But it's, they're kind of going against what they're saying. One thing they're saying, yeah, this is a great thing. Get your money into this. But then again, get your money out of it straight away. What is it? Get your money into it or get your money out of it? It kind of doesn't make sense. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. So we've seen a lot of banking stocks and stuff go south. Okay. So a lot of people said, oh, get your money into banks and things like that. The thing is, nowadays, where do you put your money? All right. We've got inflation at ridiculous rates. Inflation, I think, has been coming down a little bit, but I think in the UK, it's about 10%, was about 16%. I think there's a website called trueflation.com. You can have a look at that. And I think it's got UK and US. It might have other figures and stuff, but you can look at other figures of various countries like Argentina. I think like their inflation is 85%. They'll never invest more than you can afford to lose. Imagine if you're in Argentina or in a place like Venezuela or various African countries or Turkey, for instance, which has high inflation. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Well, what does that mean? Are you supposed to put it in your mattress? Are you supposed to put it in your piggy bank? Because clearly, if you put it or just leave it in the bank where it gains 0.1% interest rates, okay, inflation, it just erodes your money away. And especially in these high inflation countries like Argentina, if you've got inflation at 85% and you've got your pesos, I guess it's pesos, isn't it? You've got 1,000 pesos in a bank earning 0.1%, but inflation's 85%. Then in a year's time, your buying power is cut down to, well, 85%. It's, it's massively reduced. You can't afford to sit on your hands. You can't afford to just sit on your money, basically. You've got to put your money somewhere. So this idea of never invest more than you can afford to lose, in certain countries, and probably most countries now with inflation, most countries seem to have inflation of at least 10%. So you can't really afford to sit on your hands and do nothing with your money. You've got to put your money somewhere. So if you can find a place where you can beat inflation, because that's what we're trying to do, everybody. That is really what you're trying to do. If you are trying to beat inflation. So whatever it is you can find out there that is better than the country you live in, inflation rate. So if inflation's at 10% and you can get 12% a year, right? So not 12% a day or 12% a month, you can get 12% a year, then you're beating inflation if you live in the UK. Now, if you're in Argentina, you've got problems because you've got to beat 85%. And that's a real, it's an impossibility, isn't it, really? It's absolutely impossible to beat 85%. Okay, unless you're in one of these madcap schemes. And then you're in a Ponzi scheme where you can lose all of your money. All right. So never invest more than you can afford to lose. Again, that's something that it just doesn't make any sense because you can't just sit on your money. We told you to only use money you can afford to lose. So this is the same as this. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. They're just dressing it up in a different way. So there we go, guys. Let me know in the comments if there's any stuff that I've missed out, popular things that people say, Ponzi promoters say. What do you think? All right, so let me know in the comments, and I'll answer all your comments as usual. Thanks for listening. Hope you have a good rest of your day.